Hey guys, this is Emery from Heavy Lifting Records. Episode 10. It's hard to believe we're here already. I didn't have Facebook Live last week because I'm switching this to an every other week thing just because I'm busy. Let me know how that works if you guys would rather see it every week, but for now I'm just going to go 10 o'clock every other Thursday. So next week we won't have one. I'm going to try to still upload something like I did last week. I uploaded the Sleepover, kind of solo Sleepover entry to the NPR Tiny Desk contest. I did that last year. I have the video for Dance Still up on YouTube. I recommend checking it out. It's just kind of fun to make because it's sort of spur of the moment. I wrote it and I shot it in one day, or afternoon / evening. Did some editing on it. So I guess what I'm saying is probably be editing these videos going forward since I finally got at least some kind of system going, even though it's slow. So the topic for tonight is bad choices. Kind of to go with that marketing topic that I talked about last episode. So the first album for the Sleepover, I chose, thankfully, to investigate some people that were offering to help me out, And usually when people approach you, it's never a bad idea to be cautious. I've heard of some situations that haven't been so great for people, but just speaking on my own experience, I was on Reverb Nation, which has never helped me out other than getting some fans here and there. Most of your fans are just other musicians, so I think it's just an interesting way to listen to stuff that you might not be listening to, good and bad. So I'm on Reverb Nation like everybody else. I don't know anyone that's paid for that subscription, but what I will tell you is I was fanned by not a musician on Reverb Nation, and I'll try to put some something up while I'm talking here about what I'm referring to, and that is a lady that used to work for some record label, Island Records or Empire, but is one of the names I'd heard before. And she's like, "Hey, I like your music. I'm retired. I don't work for whatever company anymore, but I used to work with talent. I think you've got something going on." And I kind of messaged her back because she had recommended Red Spider Music or Red Spider Records as someone that might be able to help me out. Just look them up. And lo and behold, it is a site that you have to pay for. They're not a record label, but they claim to have artists in their repertoire or whatever. And I was curious. I kind of recommend this, but what prevented me from making a bad choice, because it was like somewhere between I think it was like $90 for an entire year, which, if you think about it, what they were promising was assistance with booking shows. They'd go out and find some shows for you, and they would promote you. So those are two areas that I know I need help with. My bandmates sometimes help me with that. Specifically, Marco, he's helped me with that. Clint's helped me with that. He's in a few different bands, so sometimes I get asked to do a show with another one of their bands. Anyway, so we're always looking for the gigs that pay an alright amount or are worth your while, or will give you exposure, kind of like what I've been talking about this whole time. What's important to you, and what do you consider success? Anyway, so I looked up the roster and I was like, there's a band out of not Waterloo. Yeah, I think it's Waterloo, Iowa. And they're stereo wide. We ended up playing a show with them later, but I ended up getting hooked up with them because I inquired their relationship with Red Spider Records. I said, hey, they seem fairly reasonable. What they promise, even if they got you a few shows here and there, you're easily going to make your money back. So I said, hey, what, how do you like it? I'm thinking about choosing them. And they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. That kind of threw up a red flag. And in my experience, your gut feeling is usually right. Or at least there's a reason for you to kind of feel like that's not quite right. So anyways, they actually hooked me up with who I'm currently using for promotion and radio promo, and that's Tinderbox. They're up in Minneapolis. They're a legitimate company. They're kind of like one of 4 major companies that do they do offer a paid service, but they'll distribute promo. They have publicists, kind of whatever you need. They're there. It will cost you to do it, but they'll work for you. They'll be available. I've appreciated their availability in the campaign that I used for them. As far as that goes, Red Spider Music, not to get off tangent on who I'm using now, but I didn't use Red Spider Music or Red Spider Records because they didn't turn out to be who I thought they were. So I reached out just curious. I went on my own escapade and reached out to just a few other people. It seems like every person that I contact, they're like, I have no idea how they got my information on that website. I quickly learned that all of these were Reverb Nation people, so it sounds like Red Spider Records data mine these musicians. When I emailed them directly, which I'll hopefully be able to throw up an image of that as well, of their response, but I essentially asked them, hey, I'm just curious, like I was talking to a local, Iowa band that says it's on your roster, and then another artist, and they're saying they don't have anything to do with you. I was just wondering, like, why that might be. Like, is there something I don't know, or you can explain? And basically, they just said, oh, sometimes we offer artists like a free trial, or we just, we just do work, or we just help them so we can be more established. So in short, it turned out to be they were just using this to make it look like they were legitimate. Whether they offer some legitimate service, I really don't know. But like I said, everyone I had contacted was like, man, I don't want to be on the site because they have nothing to do with me. And they're just using me to help them. They've never helped me. Not a single one of these artists have been helped by that company. In fact, every artist I talked to didn't even know they were on there. I know I might be a broken record, but I'm just saying, don't use these guys. They're predators. There's other people out there that are willing to help you, usually for a price. I would, start locally, just make some contacts at shows and figure out, who's setting up these good shows and how can you help. I've helped set up shows before, mainly for out of town bands coming through, but that's not really my forte. But there's other ways to help people out, and that's kind of the whole idea with Heavy Lifting Records. Like, I started with an idea, originally just because I thought I needed a label for my music. You can check that out in the earlier episodes. But I decided to just use it to help people, just by giving time or a conversation about some things and kind of try to form a community, because ideally I would like Heavy Lifting Records to go with multiple people trying to help each other, not just me talking to a camera. So anyways, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I won't have one next week, but I'll see you the week after. I hope this helped you avoid at least a bad choice. I've got a couple more stories to tell on bad choices, I'm sure, but maybe you can comment below and let us know what's been working for you, or what has been a positive experience, because I'd like to focus at least a bit on positivity going forward, because we're all in it together, and appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.